Hello, welcome back to Academic Reading Class A. This is week 5. This week, we are going to focus on how to improve your reading speed. We will look at the skills of speed reading and explore techniques that you can use to read better and faster. When speed reading is appropriate to use, it will also be effective on your understanding. 1. Stop the inner monologue or self-vocalization. Your inner monologue, also known as self-vocalization, is an extremely common trait among readers. It is a process of speaking the words in your head as you read, and it is the biggest obstacle that gets in the way of you being able to increase your reading speed. If you are hearing voices in your head when you're reading, don't worry. As long as it is your own voice reading along with you, you're fine. In fact, this is how teachers teach kids to read. Say the words silently in your head as you read. When you were initially taught to read, you were taught to sound out everything and read aloud. Once you were proficient enough at that, your teacher had to start saying the words in your head. This is how the habit originated, and most people continue reading this way. It does not adversely affect them in any way until they start wanting to read at a faster pace. If you are seeking to increase your reading speed, reading a text out loud is the first thing you must learn to overcome. By the way, do you know the average reading speed is pretty much the same as the average talking speed? According to Forbes, the average adult's reading speed is 300 words per minute. The average talking speed is the same. Since most people are in habit of saying the words aloud in their head as they read, they tend to read around the same pace as they talk. This means your reading speed will only increase so much if you continue to keep up that inner monologue. If you want to continue to increase your reading speed, you need to eliminate it. To do this, you need to understand one thing. The monologue or self-vocalization is unnecessary. You do not need to say every word in your head in order to understand the material you're reading. It was when you were younger, but now you are able to input the meaning from just seeing the words. Your brain still processes the information. 2. Word chunking. Word chunking closely parallels with the idea of eliminating the inner monologue. This is the act of reading multiple words at one time, and it is a key to reading faster. All of these reading tips tied together, yet word chunking is probably the most active tool to use when you work to increase your reading speed. For now, focus on trying to read 3 to 5 or 6 words with one glance. And you can recognize that you're still able to process and comprehend what you read, but spend far less time doing it. Now let's practice to read multiple words at once and focus on keywords such as verbs and nouns by using the text on this slide. Pause the video now and set your stopwatch ready to time your reading speed. I hope you can read this paragraph within 1 minute. For the students who studied abroad, I hope you can read through the text around 30 to 40 seconds. All right? Look at the excerpt of the text of Cultural Globalization, page 103 on the slide and start the stopwatch and pause the video now. Okay, start chunk reading. Well, how many seconds or minutes did you need to read this paragraph? Could you read with 5 or 6 words in a chunk? If not, use this slide with the chunks in the boxes as a sample guideline and try chunk reading again. The yellow boxes contain maximally 6 words and can be used as a guideline for those who took around 1 minute and over. The green boxes for the students who took less than 40 seconds. As you can read faster, chunks in a sentence can be longer. as the green boxes display, with 1 or 2 divisions in a sentence. Also, if you do not have enough time, only read the keywords in the chunks and abbreviations as this slide presents. Now, here is a task for your chunk reading exercise. Please record your chunk reading audio of the course book Chapter 5, Cultural Globalization, the section of Flows of People, the pages from 101 to 109. Once you complete recording your audio, upload the audio file onto Microsoft Teams folder named Week 505 Chunk Reading Audio Recording. Dues are here. For Friday class members, the due is set on Wednesday, 27th of May, 10 a.m. And for Tuesday class members, the due is on Sunday, 31st of May, 10 a.m. 3. Use a timer. As we just practiced to time and record your reading speed of one of the paragraphs of Cultural Globalization. Using a timer is very helpful in order to increase your reading speed. As you are an athlete, speed reading requires training every day, even for a short time. Now is your chance to test yourself and work on how to increase your reading speed each time you read. How to do? Set a timer for 1 minute, reading normally as time drops down. When the timer goes off, note how many pages you have read. Keep doing this, continuing to beat your previous count each time. Set a daily or weekly goal and treat yourself when you reach it. Continue with this little game and you'll be able to increase your reading speed in no time. 4. Work on improving your vocabulary. As the week 4's instructions stress the importance and different ways to increase the volume of your vocabulary, I would like to restate the importance of improving your vocabulary here. Think about it. You're reading along, and then you run into a word you don't know. Do you skip it? Do you try to figure it out by the context? Do you stop to look it up? Whichever course of action you take, you are slowing your time significantly, if not stopping it altogether to go and look up the word's definitions. If you have not started making your own vocabulary book, start today, start now. If you work on improving your vocabulary, you will know more words. The more words you add to your repertoire, the faster you read. The faster you read, the more you can read. It may be self-evident, but it's important. 5. Skim the main points fast. Finally, when you are in a real-time crunch and need to get something ready by tomorrow, take a deep breath and calm down. Open the book and take some time reading over all the main points. Read the table of contents, read the subtitles, headings, and subheadings. Read the captions under the diagrams, and so on. Next, read the first paragraph of each section. Read the last section. Read the middle. Think this over in your head and piece it together. Then start reading everything else while employing the techniques you have just discussed. We will retain your information better, as well as get your reading done faster. Now, here are exercises for skimming skills. Do you remember successful skimming needs to ignore details and look for main points only? The exercises in week 5 will require your individual effort and cooperation with your study buddies. The file for the exercises is available on Manaba's course news of week 5. Groups are same as last week as posted on Manabas course news for week 4. Well, have you downloaded the skimming exercise file and ready to work on? If not, please do so. Okay, this is task 1 on your exercise worksheet. Here are the fast sentences of each paragraph in a text entitled Oils. In your own words, explain what you think this text is about. Please write down your answers in a notebook or type on a Microsoft Word file now. Here's task 2. Here are the fast sentences of each paragraph in a text entitled Body Language. In your own words, explain what you think this text is about. Pause the video now and write down your answers in a notebook or type on a Microsoft Word file. Task 3. Next, read the first paragraph and the last paragraph of a text entitled, What type of student do you have to teach? In your own words, explain what you think this text is about. Pause the video now and write down your answers in a notebook or type on a Microsoft Word file. Task 4. Read the headings and subheadings of the text entitled Dashes. Try to get some idea about what the text is about. Formulate 1 or 2 questions for each heading. Then, read the full text that follows more carefully to find the answers. Task 5. This is the final task of week 5. Thank you for completing your individual work. Now please start your discussion with your study partners in order to share your answers on tasks 1 through task 4 by comparing the original texts. As I mentioned, your groups are same as last week, so please contact each other as soon as possible and decide a date and time for discussion. When you complete all the tasks, name your file as student ID name 05 skimming and save it and submit onto Manaba's assignments by the due date. The due dates are here. Lastly, let me provide you with real-time lesson information. Date and time are scheduled as the slide displays. For Tuesday class, 26th of May, 10 to 10:30. For the Friday class, 29th of May, 10 to 10:30 through Microsoft Teams call. Try to sign in 5 minutes before the class starts. So, see you online later.